Also, Mo has a personal question for the guys.
Yeah, no, I had two questions, but I'm gonna go with the question that's kind of like in the spirit of the show. And I know you talked about Ronnie Fields, Cam, and like there's just people who had the ability to be probably better than the person who ended up making it from the era. But I was just thinking to myself, was this somebody that y'all came up with through the music scene, right? Sometimes athletes get hurt, they get injured or whatever, but is it somebody who had like skills and talents and but for whatever reason that, they just didn't make it for whatever reason?
Good question.
And it was just a random question.
That's a great question. Mason don't give nobody credit. He's like, looking at me. Mason's like, I don't even know a nigga like this.
He's like, can't call it.
What I will say is this: it's a guy, and I'll pick this. It's a lot of people in Harlem.
Yeah,
a lot of great people in Harlem. Well, and we went through this on Gilly and Wallow's show and other people's show. It's a lot of great people in Harlem. But what I'll say is this, to me, and this is a strong statement, I lived in Chicago, and to me, they may have the best lyricists. Them in Louisiana. I'm talking about as far as lyricists. Like, we really take for granted because now, New York used to call people country or West Coast, whatever it was, not my era, like in the 80s or early 90s, and then respect it. But, even thinking about Lil Wayne, if you get on record with Lil Wayne, you got to be careful. You have to, the Lil Wayne will go crazy. You're on record with Eminem, you got to be careful. These niggas are really lyricists. So it's a guy who passed away. His name was Frog from Chicago on the West Side. Shout out to everybody on the West Side of Chicago, K-Town. Actually, my man Trysta posted a picture of me and him today when I was actually in Chicago with them. But he was really, really good. He's from K-Town. Shout out to my guy Duke. And they were fucking amazing. I think, even though I had a deal when I was living up there, I used to get in the ciphers and rap with like I didn't have a deal because they were really hungry and they kind of pushed the envelope. Also a dude named Young Buck, not the one that was down with G Unit. He was from Chicago. He's actually, me, him, and Trysta actually have a song together. Was it Go Getters, the name of his crew? I can't remember, but he was really nice too. You want to Google the record, it's called Adrenaline Rush 2, me, Trysta, and Young Buck. But I think Chicago artists are really, really underrated as far as rap is concerned. So R.I.P. Frog.
We did talk about this on Gilly and Wallow. There's so many people I think from Harlem that was really, really good. You got Trooper J, you got Mike Boogie, you got who else was really good? That I can remember. Even if you think about the Bronx, Party Artie. I remember people like that. AG. That was with Showbiz. That was really good. And then there was
Lord Finesse too.
Yeah, Lord Finesse. Then there was this group called the Bounce Squad. I remember when I was coming home from school in 9th grade or 8th grade, I used to always listen to Bounce Squad. So shout out to Doo-Wop and all of them. That was a group that had a lot of good. Yeah. Yeah, they was really fire.
All right, let's get into the news.
No, go ahead, Mo.
Let's do it.
No, hold on. Let Mo. What you gonna say,
go ahead, Mo?
Yeah, so just like, to build on that question, and I know this is a broad statement or a broad question, but what separates some people from being able to transition and break through with that talent than others? And I say that comes from that's a loaded question because I get so many people who either send me music or, hey, can you pass this to here? And I just tell y'all again, like, I don't pass music. Yeah. That's not my relationship with these guys. But I be listening to people's stuff and I say, man, it's people who are good. But I be like, in the music world, in the athletic world, I know how people either, make it or don't. Like I can identify that. But just as a broad statement that may be like good feedback for people or something that y'all saying, like, what made you all you and then other people who may not have gotten through, if that makes sense?
I went first last time.
Yeah, no, I was wondering. I didn't want to jump in front of you. Pause.
Hey,
so I said pause. Yeah, what makes the difference between a lyricism a guy that's a lyricist and the people that normally break through, sometimes you have that is just, you don't lose that. You either got it or you don't have it. They could put a budget behind you. It's just different people that come in the room and they light up the room. And there's people that command attention. Other people don't command attention. And it's not just wearing yellow hair or blue hair or doing weird stuff. It's just, you know when it's one of those people in the room. And they're different. They're unique. They're not like nobody else. Like when I wasn't even speaking to Cam and I would hear his records, I'm like, yo, this nigga Killer is going crazy. And at that point, I was mad with the nigga. I'm like, yo, that nigga Killer is going crazy right now. One time I was coming from church, right, and he had the pink. This when he was wearing the pink. He had the pink first. Somebody showed me the John's like, man, I want to see that. I'm like, yeah, that's how you was supposed to do it.
Yeah, no, yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So, and I said that because when you really have something, it don't matter if people know, like you or not, they know you got something. Pause. And I think that's the difference. Like with today, a lot of people sound the same. When I heard Lil Wayne, he was different. And I think people don't put enough stock into being unique and being originals. The originals always last the time, and the copies don't.
Yeah, and thanks, Murder. I appreciate that, man. It's hard to get a compliment out this one. I appreciate it, man. But yeah, like Mase made a great point. It's like a it factor. You know when you have it, like. And I'll just use Mase for an example, but I want to say another thing after this. It's like, you know, even white know, like Mase was Mase Murder, Mase Mussolini. Mase used to say, I'll lay you on the ground of grass with roses all around your ass. You know, that's the type of time he's in. You know, when the nigga said another homicide right in front of Mama's Fried. You know, that's the time he used to be on. And then he got signed to Bad Boy and he did the 112 remix and the bitches liked him, and Puff said, get that murder shit away from us, man. You gotta get that. We don't got time for lay a nigga in the ground, the grass with the roses all around.
That's when I discovered Mase.
See, that's what Puff knew. Yeah. See,
that's when I had him on the wall.
Yeah, and you was in Portland?
Yeah.
This is what Puff was saying.
It's like we can infiltrate white America.
Gentrified.
That's what niggas seen that you got something different. But to me, just me personally, because I like lyrics and I sign artists, not no more, but I used to sign artists too. I ain't got time to sign artists because your problems become their problems. They fucked up. You gotta everything always.
Their rent is your rent.
Yeah, man, shit is crazy. But you just know if they have an it factor. Like even when I'll use Jewels for example. You know, I met Jewels, he was spitting. I met him through a friend of mine named Tove that I went to school with. And then when I started bringing them around, this is when I learned, when I started to learn who kind of got it, because I wasn't looking at, and still don't get this fucked up what I'm about to say, as saying, the girls might like him, the females might like him, because at that time, I would work with females, and they like, Cam, he's like that, and he's cute. He cute, fuck you talking about? You on his dick? You know, that was my mentality at the time. But you have to look at shit like that when you're signing artists. So I thought he had everything. He could rap, and not just rap, you got to know how to make songs. You know how to make hooks. You got to know how to count your bars. You get rappers, they don't know how to count their bars. They don't even know how many 16s or 8s or 12s or whatever. They don't even know how to count bars. And he had the whole package for us, so I liked him a lot. But Mo, for me, what separates good people, good musicians, or how you say with rappers, good rappers from bad rappers, is knowing how to make songs, and of course the it factor that me and Mase talked about. But I love people who know how to bounce on the beat and still compound their words. When I say compound their words, a lot of people don't pay attention to people who compound their words. So like, if you sit there and be like, we're going to the fight. tonight, and it's be all right. Like this is, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not really that intricate. You know? And we're gonna be hype. Do what you like. You know what I'm saying? Like compounding words, like I just said when Mase said, lay you on the ground of grass with roses all around your ass pores. Like it's syllables that's all matching. You know what I'm saying? Like you tie dynamite to the rhino type, a wino might find your site. Sell the information for a dime or white. That China. I'm behind the diner selling marijuana to a minor elder looking for that shine I shine. That's old killer. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? When you compound and it can and still can bounce and it fit, I be like, niggas is nice. I don't be fucking with the one syllable rappers like that. Only maybe Prodigy didn't have to do that, and I was a super duper fan. Outside of that, if you ain't really compounding your words and making it sound good, it still could. You all right, you can make a song, but you ain't going in the lyricism book with me like that. You got to be able to compound your words.
Yeah.
So if that's the test to you, then how many West Coast hip hop artists fit that mold? Because I feel like as someone who grew up on the West Coast, that was much more of like an East Coast flavor.
Right. Yeah. But at the West time, we respect the culture too. You know what I'm saying? We understand that ain't what they grew up in, and you got to respect what they grew up in. And that's a great fucking question right there, because a lot of them don't compound their words, but it's also the environment that comes with it. Like when you listen to, we grew up listening to NWA, we was like, that nigga Eazy-E, this nigga telling bitch, just suck my dick and don't bite it. Like, you know, we were like, nah, I know the nigga ain't just put out an album full of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Yo, like that, it was more impressed on what the fuck these niggas was saying. Like, nah, get the fuck out of here, B. Snoop Dogg too, you know what I'm saying? The name of the album was Doggy Style. Dr. Dre, his shit was The Chronic. Like, we was like, yo, these niggas is amazing. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I looked at them as well. Yeah. That was a great question.
Yeah, and another part that make rappers good is that they want to be better than everybody else. That's something you got to really search for these days. It's a lot of people just want to be one of the ones, but you could tell by us and other people that he named and I named, they're people that want to be the best.